What's happening, Peter? It's me, Ben Hatchett. So this is an amazing episode today, and it's especially for fighters. I was going around on YouTube and I see something with Joe Rogan, and he talked about like going in a pod, the float works, Epsom salt, how it's good for your nerve system. So it got me really intrigued.
What Lilly, he invented the sensory deprivation tank because he was trying to figure out a way to separate the mind from any of the physical input of the body.
It works.
It does work. Done the float tank?
I did that once. I did not like that at all. No, I just was I couldn't get into any kind of zone or vibe.
So here I am today in Leeds, Stanley Road. I'm getting better at the vocabulary. So here we are about recovery floats. So yeah, let's go. Dan, with you, Sam, my boy, you good?
Yeah,
you good,
brother?
Yeah.
Ready for some recovery today?
Yeah, so basically I was telling the audience that basically I was watching YouTube.
Yeah,
and I was talking, and I see a clip from Joe Rogan. I've never seen nothing like this.
Yeah.
It's like a space shuttle. Wait till you see it.
Yeah.
And it's like a pod, you get in, and it is all about recovery. And you're a fighting man yourself. You're MMA and that yourself.
Yeah.
So, do you want to, what about the conversation we had yesterday? Do you want to tell us a bit like what it is and the benefits of doing this?
Definitely. So basically, a flotation pod, it has 12 inches of skin temperature water in it, and it's filled with 275 kilograms of Epsom salts. So what happens when you get in the pod is it's like zero gravity. So when you're in there, your blood circulation speeds up, which means your muscles will recover faster. It's filled with magnesium sulfate as well, which is in the Epsom salts. So that'll rejuvenate your nervous system. It'll improve sleep. It plays about 200 crucial roles in the human body, down to bone density, all types of different stuff. So when you're in the tank, it's going to replenish all your magnesium levels. All your muscles, joints, ligaments, bones are going to be under zero gravity. So everything's going to get to relax and recover much faster. That's the kind of physical benefits, but then there's the mental benefits as well.
Okay, so that's about that.
So the water's heated to the skin's temperature, which is 35.5 degrees. So we heat it up to about 36 degrees because you lose a little bit throughout the float. Now what happens is when you get in the tank, you stop feeling the water after about 10-15 minutes. So there's zero gravity. There's no sensation of water.
Wow.
There's lights inside that you can turn off.
What would you recommend? Is there any benefits having the lights on to having them off?
So the lights off, that's when it starts falling into a sensory deprivation aspect. And to be fair, when we say sensory deprivation, it's the outside senses. So it's light, sound, touch, smell, etc. Your senses are actually seriously heightened in there, but it's the senses of the brain.
Yeah. So
all the energy and focus you normally use on speaking to people, on listening to things, on watching things, all that's projected to the mind.
Yeah.
So what happens in there then? Something called interoception. So the brain will start to scan through itself and scan through your body and find areas where you might be holding tension, where you might be holding stresses, where things you might be doing in life that you could do better and improve upon. So there's just numerous benefits.
It sounds enlightening as well. I think that's what got me. It just seems like an enlightening experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like being with yourself and that sort of time. Do you know what I mean? It feels like to me like doing this, am I going to find my inner self a bit more? Like, am I going to like see, self-criticize myself and things? Am I going to?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's how I've sort of seen it. That's why I'm so intrigued to do it.
The best conversations we ever have are with ourselves. Like everything we need to know is up here, but it's about accessing it. And in everyday life, it's difficult to do that. You've got phones dinging, you've got laptops dinging, you've got emails, and we've just got daily stuff going on in life. So when you go in that float pod and you shut it off for an hour, it's amazing the things that will come up in your mind. Yeah. As well with the magnesium as well, for the physical benefits, especially for a fighter like yourself, is, and I explained this to you yesterday, is your nervous system. So the nervous system gets overridden quite a lot. And as a fighter, when you're throwing a shot, when you're fainting, whatever you're doing, when you're faking, you're trying to override that other person's nervous system. You want their nervous system to slow down to a point where that head movement's slightly too slow, where you can then land a shot. So when you're using float tanks continuously, your nervous system is going to be replenished better, which means your reaction time is going to be better. Your muscles are going to move faster because the signal from your brain through your nervous system to your muscles is going to be quicker. And not a lot of people kind of understand that. And I think from the MMA world, we just seen this weekend Sean O'Malley knocking out Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, it's gone viral.
Yeah, that was a big kind of upset because of Aljamain's kind of rounded game, his wrestling and everything. But Sugar Sean speaks a lot about his visualizations. And if you watch actually the training footage just before the knockout, he's actually practicing the exact shot that he lands to finish the fight. So if you go in a float tank as a fighter or as any competitor, and you run through them motions in your mind numerous times before you actually get in there and compete, when you get in there and compete, everything's fresh. You've done it a million times in your mind. So that means that everything you do will be cleaner, it'll be faster, there'll be less stress on the brain going in there because you know physically and mentally you're 100% ready to get in there and do what you need to do.
Well, it's definitely recommended for fighters.
Fighters, athletes. We have people coming with fibromyalgia, with sciatica, pain management issues, anxiety, depression. People who just want to relax. We have people who like meditation and want to kind of develop the consciousness. That's one thing Joe Rogan says as well. Actually, we've got it on here. The flotation tank is the most important tool I've ever used for developing.
He has one in the studio. Do you know that Joe Rogan actually has one of this? See with his studio, he does his podcast. He has one actually there. He's got in the studio.
One in his studio, and he's got one at his house.
Wow. So and it's people don't know. I'll show you in a minute. The pod actually closes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it is closed. So yeah.
And for people that don't know who Joe Rogan is, Wayne Rooney uses them. Colleen Rooney, they've got one in their house as well. There's numerous people. We have a lot of business guys that come in as well because a lot of people say that we feel more creative and more productive afterwards. But obviously you will. It's like if you take a laptop and you run it every day, it's going to slow down. And then you restart it or you shut it down and you start back up and it speeds up again. Exactly the same with the human mind.
With energy. Yeah, dude, man, that's it.
So do you want to come and have a look and we'll show you around? So first things first, we have a chill out area. So we've got nice little dark space here. We've got filtered waters, we've got herbal teas, and it's just a good spot to come up after your float and sit down and just take a minute to like kind of go through everything that's come up in your mind whilst you've been in the float. So yeah, this is a little chill out spot. Guys, you want to follow me? So we have 2 float rooms, so you can come with a friend and share the experience. You're in number 2 today, so we'll take you through to float room 2.
Wow, look at that.
So this is the float tank. And
see, just for those as well, don't get on that water, you don't sink, do you? No, you actually don't. So you actually float on top. It's like, you know what that reminds me of that place in, is it Egypt, the Red...
Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea,
yeah. So,
not that I've ever been.
Yeah, I've been quite a few times.
Have you?
Yeah, it's on border with Iran. I'm half Iranian, so I used to go as a kid. I don't know if that's something to do with like kind of my affiliation with this, but yeah, once you lay on there, you're just completely weightless. You can't physically go under water unless you were to like sit down or something. You can go under.
Push yourself down.
Push yourself down, yeah. Once you lie down flat, you will just float effortlessly. You've got lights in tank that you can turn on and off, so it's dependent on what's comfortable for you. We've got some halos in here as well to give your head a little bit of support. So what we do when we come in, get a quick shower, come over to the tank, you lie to this side, close your lid. We have music that will play through the tank. I'll put on now. Music will play for 10 minutes. When the music finishes, it'll go silent. The music will come back on at the last 5 minutes. We can play music throughout as well. It's whatever's comfortable for people. But
I think I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna try like the full enlightenment experience. I want to try and find myself a bit. Like I was saying, I was getting on the party scene a bit too much, with drinking, partying, cocaine abuse. So I'm now, I think, about recording a documentary at the same time. I'm now 15 days clean.
Nice.
So do you know what I mean? Beautiful. So I want to try and like find myself a bit, reason why I was sort of doing that. And I know I've got a lot coming up at the anniversary of my mum and the things. So I think this, instead of trying to like get emotional and risk taking alcohol, because one beer leads to what? I want to do things natural and trying to find my inner self. Does that make sense?
Definitely. We help a lot of people in a similar situation. We actually run ceremonies and stuff as well, where we have like men's groups where people can come. A good safe space for guys to be able to sit and talk about these things. I think, like, there's an epidemic with cocaine and alcohol that no one talks about. Like, there's suicides and stuff going on these days. A lot of it's down to these drugs.
It is.
And you can find natural alternatives where you can kind of get to the deeper parts of your mind and you can fix these issues. And this is one of them.
Yeah, that's literally what I mean. That's honestly great. So
after you float, so you get a shower, you come over, you have your float. When you finish, you go over, you get another shower,
Yeah.
and then we have the cold tub here that you can finish off in. So it's just a little ice tub, really good for athletes. Actually, a lot of people think that cold water is really good for recovery of muscles, but it's not. It actually slows down.
I actually believed it was.
Yeah, so it slows down your muscle recovery very slightly. But what it does, it improves your thermogenic rate, so it improves your brown fat levels in your muscles, and it decreases the white fat levels in your body. So brown fats are the good fats, they're the fats we want, they're like intermuscular fats.
Okay.
It's really good for the mind as well. You get about a 6-hour dopamine boost off of the cold water therapy.
Wow.
And it's actually a similar level of dopamine boost as cocaine, it's like 2.5 times.
I'll be jumping straight in there.
Yeah.
Can I ask one thing while on it before I forget? In the morning, is it best then, as you're saying, like if you're getting that boost, is it best in the morning to like have a nice cold, like waking up?
So for mental, what I do in the winter, I'm not doing it currently because it's too warm, but in the winter when it's really cold and dark, I'll get up, I'll set my alarm about 5 AM, 5:30, and I'll get straight out of bed and go straight out into ice. It's disgusting, it's awful. But once you've done it, like everything else in that day is easy then.
Yeah.
It's really good as well for inflammation. So although it doesn't recover muscles quicker, it helps with the inflammation in the body. So there's them positive aspects to it as well. But yeah, there's a big kind of miscommunication with cold water therapy and muscle recovery that people don't really understand.
Yeah.
But we'll get your muscle recovery in here,
Yeah.
and then in here we'll get your inflammation down. It's a great way to finish as well, just to perk you back up before you go training.
Brilliant, let's do it. And remember people, I'm going to leave all the details as well to be able to contact as well. Remember to like, subscribe and leave a comment if you find, and thank you for the support.
Yeah, and if you hit at Recovery Float, that's his Instagram's at Recovery Float, Facebook's Recovery Float, Leeds/Bradford.
That'll be in the description box. I'll stick it all in there.
Fantastic.
Have you got a website as well?
Yeah, recoveryfloat.co.uk.
There you go. That will also be in the description box. And remember, I'll hit the description to get all details. Any other information that you got, it will all be there as well to follow and see the journey.
Right, so I've got out. I'm sure he knocked. I don't know if he knocked. I don't know if I got out early. But wow, spending this off alone, literally pitch black. I was closing my eyes, and after I was like, why am I even closing my eyes? Yeah, you go on like a little journey. You gotta try and switch off. But then I come up with ideas, the things I'm doing. I come up with it. I was being more creative. Yeah.
So we finished the float, and now we're gonna do the ice bath. I can't wait. Oh, so how long are we doing this for? 3 minutes, yeah? Oh, you put it in front of the camera, I can't edit. Oh, man.
You've already lost 10 seconds, so we'll add that on at end. Right, you need to sit down, get in it. Just get straight in, you're making it worse for yourself. And breathe. So you want to take deep breaths, control your breathing. Shut your eyes and just visualise. This is strengthening the mind as well, which controls the mechanics of the body. So
exactly. It's telling the mind, like digging deep, and I think all this as well, especially for fighters, when you do get into that point, and I've been in the ring, and it's, you know, you've got to try and dig deep, and then like if the mind gives up, like it's like a muscle, isn't it? Really.
Yep.
When you're at that mindset, and it's about pushing on. When you're putting yourself in these situations, you're training, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's it is, isn't it? So yeah, it is.
You know what, brother? Everything we use here is all natural. It's water and salt, and it's cold water. Like it's what your body's made up of, and you can use all them things to be a better fighter, be a better competitor, just be a better person in general as well.
That's it for your mental.
There you go.
There we go. We've done it.
Done it.
We've done it, man. Whoa. Whoa. I'll tell you what, I feel much better, man. I feel much better getting out of that. So I wanted to finish the video the next day,
and get a bit more depth in about the experience. One, listen, I do fully recommend it. I stand by that. It was incredible. You know, I was like, I had my eyes shut, but you don't need to shut it. It's pitch black. Sometimes I got a bit anxious. I thought I had to lift a thing to get oxygen. That's just my mental health. But yeah, it was like that. Do you know what I mean? It didn't feel, after a while, I didn't feel like I was like in a small environment. It felt like, because it's kind of big and you're just floating. Like, you don't sink, you're there, you're just floating. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, coming out, it's like you're reborn. And you do get in depth for yourself. You do discover yourself a little bit more. I come up with some, my creativity come out a lot more, my thinking. Do you know what I mean? There's like some things I was been thinking about recently and didn't really have a solution. In there, I think, being away from all distractions and everything, I got really in depth. You know, I was able to let go of things. It was like always a constant ringing in my ear. I was just managed to like, where I'm always on the go and constant, I really needed that. And the repair, like where I've been training so hard, on my side, I've pulled my side, you know, that's due to, I think, age and not warming up. You know, we all think we're still early 20s. I might look it, but I'm 33, 34 next week. So, do you know what I mean? But, and it is that when it does come to age, for example, and you still want to do a young man's sport, it's about looking after yourself and the feeling after. Like, my skin feels all smooth and I just feel incredible. And I think mentally, while I felt today, I feel so alive. And the cold dip, ice bath, I'm literally going to go and purchase today. I'm going to purchase one of them and I'm going to do that every morning because that was like a rush. So anyone who else as well is in recovery and trying to beat addiction, I would definitely recommend that. The feeling you feel fantastic. But like I say, I'm going to leave all their descriptions in. I'm going to leave their contact info in the description box. But I definitely recommend, you know, having a look, having a search if this is far away for you, to find a local place and try it. And also as well, Recovery Float, they've got a summer sale on. So if you are Leeds, if you are local, I would definitely hit them up because they're doing packages. And you know, the guy, he's proper on a level. He was so humble going there. It was nice to talk to. It was a very enlightening conversation. And I think when you're talking to other people in depth and enlightened, you sort of bounce off each other and you find yourself actually, you know, not just talking random shit and chit chat. You actually get in depth and talk about life and, you know, spirituality and yourself, which, you know, what it's about. So me, you know, this is the journey. I'm a bit of a spiritual. I've always been quite energetic, law of attraction and that. And that's I'd say other believers as well in law of attraction. Again, going in there, switching off from everything and bringing your creativity. I still can't get the word. Bring your creativity back. You know what I mean? It's amazing. So big shout out to them and thank you for everyone watching. Like I said many times before, if you please could like, leave a comment and share if possible. It helps grow the channel and I really appreciate it. Take care. God bless.